In progress.
So, good evening, Sir Dr. Ryan Pangalista and classmate. So, this will be my neural networks midterm exam about the research paper of Paper 7. This is about the puzzle logic and its application and football team ranking. So, let's move on. Okay. So, the authors, so who has done the work based on so the authors of this research was Wen Yi Zheng and Jung Hong Lee, both from the College of Information Science and Technology at Beijing Normal University in China. So where Wen Yi Zheng is the corresponding author, highlighting their leadership in the study. So next one, what were their goals and objectives of this research? In summary, I have highlighted it here now. So, but the main goal of Zhang Li and Li was to apply fuzzy logic and fuzzy clustering to rank the football teams. Now, their objectives also is included using fuzzy set theory, then addressing challenges like missing data and unequal matches. So proposing an inefficient algorithm and testing in it with the 1988 to 89 Chinese National Football League data. Yeah. So what were the research questions, if there is any? No? So based on the research that I have reviewed, no, these are the sample questions that they use in their research. No? So the author pulled several research questions. So just like can fuzzy logic effectively rank football teams? No? How can it handle complexities like missing data? Some of the data is manual during those time, and there are a lot of missing data. Now, can a reliable model be built using fossil clustering? And is the ranking stable when parameters vary? So these questions are guided by their methodology and expertise. No? Now let's move to the slide 5 where they do the data collection. So how what were their methods in terms of the data collection? So based on this research paper, you know, the study used pre-existing data match from 1988 to 1989 Chinese National Football League, whereas they are focusing on 12 football teams that is participating on that National Football League. No? So the data, including match scores, was historical and provided in a table with no direct collection by the authors. No? So the league's structure itself served as the data gathering setup. So it was used during that time. Okay. So the data analysis tools that they are used based on their methodology. So the authors process from much data using fuzzy clustering techniques. They calculated wins, losses, draws, and goal statistics. Then they define characteristic data for each team. They focus on the analyzing, not collecting the data using fuzzy similarity computation. So, what were their methods? No, so after they collect data based on the pre-existing data from the China Football League, so they form the data sets by building from given match scores of the 12 teams. No? So, the authors calculated basic statistics like wins and average goals, then created a characteristic data vectors based on weighted goal differences between each teams. So these vectors were key to their fuzzy clustering model. So that's the summary of the slide. Now let's move to how do they form the data set continuation. So in order to form, what do you call that? In order to form the data set, so goal differences were weighted by match frequency, addressing unequal games played, a fuzzy similarity matrix, was then computed using a specific formula, serving as the input for clustering. So these missing data and match disparities were noted as the challenges for this data set. No? So the formula is here. No? So if they play twice with that result, the contribution is 2 minus 1 plus 2 minus 1 divided by 2 multiplied by b, with b being the different weight. Okay. So continuing the dataset formation continuation, no, to uh, they handle the data challenges, no, so to in order for them to tackle the missing data, the authors assumed a zero goal difference from teams that did not play each other. So since they are not playing each other, no, there will be no point for them. They also use weighting factors to normalize match frequency differences. This ensured their fuzzy clustering method produced reliable ranking despite data issues. Yeah. So that's the logic they use it. So, so what were their methods in terms of data processing? So, the authors started with raw match scores, calculating summary statistics like goals scored and against the other team. No, recognizing the data limitation, they defined characteristic data to capture team performances against opponents, forming the foundation of their fuzzy logic models. So yeah. So fuzzy logic model development, as they use it using these formulas in your screen, the model begins with a fuzzy similarity matrix computed from characteristic data. So if not transitive, it's transformed into fuzzy equivalent matrix using the square method. This matrix is the core of their clustering approach, enabling team ranking. And so So how's the fuzzy clustering process works? No? Using the fuzzy equivalence matrix, a cutting operation clusters team uh, at different confidence levels. These teams with similar matrix rows are grouped together. So varying creates a dynamic clustering graph showing how teams align at different similarity thresholds. So yeah. Then uh, continuing that ranking and sensitivity analysis, it follows clustering team in the earliest and rank closer. No? So team 7, based on the table that provided on the data of the research paper, team 7 ranked first and identified via initial analysis of the uh, what do you call it, fuzzy clustering process. So the authors tested ranking stability by varying four parameters, confirming reliability with specific ranges, enhancing trust in their method. Yeah. So what were their findings? So based on the fuzzy clustering process and the ranking sensitivity analysis they gathered by the authors, no. So this study ranked 12 teams that is participating in the national 1988 to 1989 Chinese National Football League, with Team 7 in the first, followed by Teams 3, 1, 9, and so on, to the Team 4, which is 12 places. This ranking was derived using fuzzy clustering, showcasing the method's ability to handle complex sports data. So this is the team ranking. No. So what were their findings? No? So the pathologic method proved that table across parameter changes general to any number of the teams. So if even though there's a lot of teams more than 12 or lesser than that, and efficient data, since there will be enough data. No? So despite data challenges like missing data, missing information, since that time is so manual. No? So however, it struggles when team performance is too close or when excessive data is missing. No? So that's the limitation that fuzzy clustering process have encountered by the researchers. So what were the gaps and limitation of this study? No? So they studied identified two main gaps. The algorithm fails to rank teams with very similar performance and a breakdown with too much missing data. So without enough data to analyze by the fuzzy logic comparison, uh, they cannot further conclude the result based on the match result of the 12 teams joining the National Chinese Football League. This limitation suggests areas for improvement in applying fuzzy logic to sparse or ambiguous data sets. Yeah. So in summary, this research by Zheng and Lee demonstrate the power of fuzzy logic in sports ranking despite some limitation. It opens the door for further advancement in handling complex, incomplete data sets in the future. So that's my research paper review about the fuzzy logic. Sorry, the fuzzy logic and its application in football team ranking in 1989, 88 to 89 Chinese Football League. So thank you and have a nice day.